good day to everyone, most especially to our subject teacher, Sir Renz Braganza. We are Group 4 from Cent 12B, here to present today our prototype for this subject, inquiries. Our prototype or product is named TC, which is an abbreviation of trash compactor. For this presentation, we will be showcasing our product, which is the TC, the product's overall function, and its different parts and their respective functions. So, before proceeding any further, let's first start with a trivia. Did you know that garbage dumped in the ocean every year is roughly around 14 billion pounds? Plastic is a major constituent which leads to many disasters such as destruction of marine habitats, dead water areas, animal endangerment, and so on. So, our group decided to tackle more on this problem since we all observed how little by little pollution has destroyed the environment. And that is why we decided to think of a prototype or a product which can help reduce or minimize waste. Also, we decided to create this prototype, which is a garbage bin that has the ability to compress the waste or garbage thrown in the garbage bin so that it won't easily be full and be discarded fast. Another reason why we made this is that the waste won't scatter around since it will be compressed all together, forming a shape of a cube.
Moving forward, we will now proceed in discussing the overall function of the prototype TC. To begin with, we made this kind or type of model as our prototype for it to be able to help in reducing or minimizing pollution, since pollution has always been our number one problem on land and in water. The function of the prototype is to prevent pollution from further spreading. Our prototype may help in reducing the further spreading of pollution by minimizing the wastes being scattered, since our prototype was designed to compress wastes in the bin so that they may form in a shape of a cube to help prevent the wastes from scattering and going to canals, streets, lakes, rivers, and etc. In short, the overall function of our prototype TC is to prevent pollution from further spreading, helps in reducing wastes, helps in minimizing the wastes that are being scattered everywhere, and more importantly, to make a healthier and cleaner environment for both humans and animals.
Moving on to the parts and functions of the prototype. There are at least 6 important parts in our prototype. First is the solar panel and battery. Second is the trash door chute. Third is the compress buttons. Fourth, the separator. Fifth is the weights. And lastly, the detachable bottom. Let's go back to our first part, which is the solar panel and battery. In placing a solar panel, it may be of great help of reducing or minimizing more work in recharging the battery. And in addition, there's also a detachable cord which will help in also recharging the battery in case that the sun doesn't come out or it rains and the battery runs out. Let us now proceed with the second part, which is the trash chute. This part of the prototype is where all the waste will enter before being compressed by the weights. And moving on to the third part, which is the compress buttons. In having this feature in our prototype, it will be much more easier to use the product, since in just by easily pressing the buttons, The wastes inside will automatically be compressed by the compressors. Now next is the separator. In having this separator in the trash bins features, it will be of great help since it will help separate biodegradable with non-biodegradable wastes, and it may also separate recyclable materials. Next is the fifth part, which is the weights. The weights play a vital part on our prototype since it is responsible in compressing the waste in the garbage bin, and also responsible in minimizing the space on the garbage bin. And lastly is the detachable bottom. At the bottom of the garbage bin, this part of the prototype is responsible for discarding the waste that were compressed by the compressor in the garbage bin, and also in the waste that will be discarded is shaped like a cube, which will help not scatter the waste since it's compressed in a cube. And to sum of it all, the function of the TC prototype is to reduce garbage from scattering and spreading more pollution in the environment. Thank you.
To further conclude our presentation, there are three major points that were presented on our prototype. The first is that our prototype's main purpose is to help reduce or minimize the further increasing cases of pollution in the environment. Second, our prototype would also be of great help since it helps prevent waste from scattering around the environment. And for our last and third point, it would also be a great help, especially now, because there are a lot of cases where animals go extinct due to waste scattering around their habitat, which causes its destruction. So, this concludes our presentation for our prototype. We are Group 4 from STEM 12B, and we thank you for watching.